I think they're with you on aged care, but Alex Antic, I mean, a levy's a tax. It's only a levy if it gets put in for a specific purpose, and when it's legislated, it's got a mechanism to pull it out again, right? It just basically disappears after a point in time. But I've seen Labor put in plenty of levies. I can't recall one levy that Labor have ever taken off. Can you?
No, I can't, Peter, and you're quite right. I mean, ultimately, this is bracket creep, really, isn't it? I mean, you know, the coalition government has got a plan when it comes to aged care, reform, which I agree with Joel is very much on the hearts and minds of Australians. They've got a plan to spend $18 billion on some of the recommendations, and in fact, the only recommendations that are really not being considered out of the Royal Commission report are those to raise the levy in order to pay for this. We say it doesn't need to be done. We say that the services that are going to be provided are going to be A grade, are going to be appropriate, and they're going to be done all at the same time as delivering the stage 3 tax cuts, which are ultimately $137 billion over 10 years between 2024 and 2034. So, look, we know Labor thinks it's got the magic money tree. I wish I had one. If I had one, I'd plant several in the backyard. But this is real, and we're going to get on with doing the job the way it's been set out.
I want to go to nuclear power. The New South Wales government today, Productivity Commission report from the New South Wales Productivity Commission recommending lifting the ban on nuclear power. Alex Antic, you're in the hot seat here. You guys are in government in Canberra. The prohibition on energy, nuclear energy, is your prohibition. Why on earth aren't you brave enough to have a conversation about nuclear power in Australia, for Australia, if New South Wales is prepared to talk about it?
Well, I'm brave enough to do it. I wholeheartedly agree with you, Peter. I think that it's my position, personal position, that the prohibition under the EPBC Act should be lifted. And in fact, the House committee, I think, which sat last year, delivered a report which was effectively to that end. We sit here with the world's largest supply of uranium in this country. 80% of it, by the way, is here in South Australia. And yet we are the third biggest producer because, we don't have a domestic market for it. So there's a whole host of reasons why this makes enormous sense. South Australia, of course, had the scarce Royal Commission not that long ago, which effectively said, look, we need to be involved in this. We need to be involved in digging it up. We need to be involved in using it for electricity and then storing it. It wasn't acted on. Look, my view is that prohibition should be removed. Let's let the market determine whether or not it's a cost-effective way of generating power. That's the way it's meant to work.